Hi everyone, and welcome to the Front Porch Knitter. My name's Lucy Ann, and I am the Front Porch Knitter. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back, because you already know the craziness that's going to ensue. And if you're new, I hope you enjoy what we chat about here. I do my podcast, my vlog, however you want to describe it, purely to be able to talk about my knitting with people who care, even though they're not right here, they're out there in the world. I'd like to introduce you to my friend here. This is Mervyn. He is the caretaker of my parents' cottage, which is where I am right now. I'm in New Brunswick, but I wanted to record because it's been about 6 weeks and I brought everything with me and I have a bit of time. I try to not disrupt my parents' routine too much when I'm here. So Sunday mornings they have they have their things they do, and I am just hanging out here at the cottage getting some things done that I needed to do. So that's good. If you're new, that was just a little bit of the craziness that ensues. I'm sorry. That's how it works. I go off on tangents. But Mervyn has another friend who you can't really see. He's over, you might be able to catch a little glimpse of him. He's right here. Let me see if I can't move him. He's very big. He's a chainsaw, like he's 3 or 4 feet tall. Okay, at the risk of giving you all seasickness, I will let you see him too. There he is. He's a very distinguished bear as well. There's also lots of deer and moose and a carved woodpecker and ducks and all the naturey things. And if I turn you around, which I don't think I can do, let me see. I can't do it without stopping the video, just turn you, so I'm going to turn you so you see what I see. I'm looking out over the lake. I hope that's not too crazy. You couldn't have that view all the time because the light was really bad and I looked awful and I need to look my best for you. It doesn't work that way. That's not how I run my show. But anyway, welcome. All that to say, welcome. So let's get started with the nitty bits. What I'm wearing, this is my From Me With Love scarflet, shawlette. It's just a little triangular shawl. The pattern is by Gabi Fontana, and the yarn is Myah baby yak and silk in Indra, which is the blue, and Violetta, which is the violet. And this was a kit I bought at Knit City, Toronto last year. And it is like so soft. It's just, and I love Myah's yarn, but it's not something I can buy without a project in mind. So when they had these little kits to do this, that was perfect because I knew it would get used. Yeah, I wasn't up for stash enhancement. I wanted to make something, and I really do like this. And I wear it quite a bit. It's the kind of thing that you can tuck inside a jean jacket or over a sweater, like if it's a little bit cooler, or just with a blouse or a turtleneck, like for your regular clothes. Like this is just a t-shirt, so it's perfect. Okay, I have finished more than a couple of things since we last talked. Oh, the other thing I'm wearing, look at these. These are actually in acquisitions too. I hope you can see them well. I got these earrings at The Gathering in Sussex, which is where I was heading last time we chatted, not too long after. And they're by my friend Jeanette Walker. She's a jewelry artist and a knitter in Prince Edward Island. I'll link her below so you can see some of her other pieces. I really like these, and they're so wearable, right? Like sometimes when you get beautiful art jewelry, you can't wear it with everything. Like it's such a statement that but these, although very much a statement, are really easy to wear with lots, like they look great with jeans and a white shirt. They look great with this little scarf. I could wear them with a little black dress with a silver chain. Anything I wanted. They're gorgeous. I love them. Thanks, Jeanette. I am so happy that you are so talented so I could own these earrings. They're great. Yeah, so finished more than a few things. And I'm sorry, like I need to start recording more often, because otherwise you guys think all I do, maybe it is all I do. All I do is knit, but I do other things, I promise. So let's look at a couple of things. Some of these things weren't even works in progress the last time we chatted. So let's look at some of the things that were. When we last chatted, I showed you some of the tubes I'd done on my circular sock machine. And yeah, I've finished 2 pairs of socks. These blue ones. So the leg and the foot were done on my machine, my circular sock machine, and I just added the heels, toes, and cuffs. And this was a commercial sock yarn, comfort wool, I think it was. You can look back, I'll put it in the notes below, but you can look back on the last episode to see. And these ones are for my dad. And these ones, another same brand of yarn, just the green color. And I think both of them, the heels, toes, and cuffs are Paton's Kroy, because I have lots of that in solid colors. These are for my cousin, who returning viewers will have heard me talk about before. My cousin Bert is, he too is a crafts person, but his medium is wood or metal. And if you go in back episodes, you'll see my little yellow duck that he made one when my children were little, and he made me a new one last year. So I have my little yellow duck. And when I'm at home in my knitting room, you can sometimes see him because he lives in there. But yeah, he's knit worthy and he likes wool socks. So those are for my dad and for him. And then I finished my Woolens Nosh winter socks. This is the collaboration Michelle did with Max and Vincent at Les Garçon. And this is from the Seasons of Socks collection. And it's 100 gram skein and a mini. And the pattern I did is By the Shore. It's a Nancy Wheeler from Knit Sip Happy. It's one of her patterns that I don't have my sock blockers with me, sorry. But I really like how it looks on self-striping yarn. It really enhances the pattern. So I finished those. And then I finished, these I think were almost done. These are Yarn Therapist, and I can't remember the colorway. My friend Heidi gave me this sock set. It was a 50 gram skein with a mini in the bright orange. And I just did a little slip stitch pattern on this. I don't even, like it's just out of my head. I think it's knit one row and then the next row you knit 2, slip 1 to get that little dippy look. These are for me. These are going to be my spring socks and sandals socks, because don't they scream spring? Can hardly wait to wear those. Actually, I might wear those this weekend when I'm at Fiddlehead Fibre Festival's coming up. We'll talk more about that later. So I finished those, and I think I had started this, and I've worn this a lot already. So yeah, it's been great. This is the Plug and Play Slip Over by Pairs Well with Yarn. I used Barocco Vintage and Sugar Bush Drizzle, I think is the mohair. Oh, I have it written down. Let me look. Oh, I didn't write it down. I wrote it down last month. Let's see. I just wrote Barocco Vintage. Oh, here it is. Yes, Sugar Bush Drizzle, and the colorway was Royal Rain. Now, Sugar Bush is a discontinued yarn, but you do sometimes see it in D-Stash. People getting rid of it. Like, I loved Sugar Bush. I'm very sad that it's gone away. They had some great colors and some lovely bases, and it was a nice sort of middle range commercial yarn. So I'm very sad that it's gone. But this in Barocco Vintage and the Drizzle is, and it's great. And I love that it has these little, this is just a double knit band across here to hold it closed. So it's very wearable. You could wear it over like a dolman sleeve dress because it has a big arm opening. You could wear it over a big, it looks great with a white linen shirt and jeans. I've worn it with a white like a cream colored turtleneck. If you were at the gathering, the wool gathering, the gathering that in Sussex, you will have seen me wearing it because I did wear it there. It has some nice deep ribbing. This is a great pattern, knit up really quickly in a bulky weight. I would highly recommend it, and I would do it again. And I think I might do one that's a little bit longer. This one's a little bit cropped, which is great. It's perfect for what I wanted. But I'm thinking I might do one a little bit longer to wear with some of my lower cut jeans and things. Because this one, yeah, I'm not built for cropped with lower cut jeans, but that's fine. I am what I am. So what else I was working on this. I don't think I'd started it yet on the last episode, but I also finished 2 Musselburgh hats. This one is done in a Richard DeVries, and I want to say it's like dark matter or something like that colorway. I don't have it written down because I had started it. Yes, dark matte, warp speed, dark matter. I really like it. It actually, I was knitting it for someone else, but I think it's going to be mine because I love the way it knit up. I love the colors, and don't ask me how. I don't have one, but I really like this. So I think that one might be mine. This one is in a Yarn Therapist. No. Hypnotic Yarns, Yarnable colorway. And it hasn't been blocked yet. You can see it's not perfectly even. The Musselburgh hat is a hat that, one, is amazing to donate because it's male or female, very warm, pretty easy style to wear. You can fold it for a beanie or leave it straight for a more slouchy. And they're perfect waiting room knitting because once you're past the increase section, it's just straight knitting for 18 inches, stockinette. And it's quite ingenious. If you don't know, you knit a big long tube like this you start with a pinhole cast on. I don't. I start with 16 stitches instead of 8, and then just draw in the top, just because it's too fiddly otherwise. And you knit your however long it says based on what your gauge is, and then you do your decreases, and then to build the hat you just line up the increase and decrease ends inside, and you can turn up the edge, and Bob's your uncle, you have a hat. And so it's 2 layers everywhere, and depending on what yarn you use, I use fingering because I live in southern Ontario where it doesn't get that cold, and 4 layers over your ears. So I finished that one, and as you returning visitors know, my life involves a lot of waiting rooms, so that's good. Or sitting in a car waiting for people who are at appointments and things, all good things. And then at the Gathering in Sussex, which is Atlantic Yarn and Fibre organized that, so that's Nancy Wheeler from Knits at Pappy, Manon Drolet from La Violette Knits, Sophie Cormier from Cozy Meadow Knits, and Deborah from Yarn Indulgences. That is who those organizers are. We cast on Deborah's new pattern, which is the Water Song scarf, and it's quite ingenious. It's like you can see, you start with the narrow section, go in much narrower, then you have the medium section, and then you have the wider section. I'm pretty sure my counts are off. Mine is representative of the pattern, not exactly the pattern, because I get going and then I have too many increases or whatever. Anyways, it will look like this. 2 strands of mohair held together. So the idea is you put it on like this, and then the narrow sections wrap in the back, like the little narrowed in, and then it comes back around the front. It looks really good with this other scarf already on. And then at the narrow section here is where you tie it, so that you get a little like a bow. And this is 2 strands of mohair, and I just did 1 ball, 1 skein, and pulled from the inside and the outside using the method where you string the ends through a button. This is my button I use, so 1 end goes in each end goes in a buttonhole, and then you knit from that, and that keeps it from twisting and tangling. Okay, now I am getting too warm, and I had this much left. I didn't weigh it, but there's probably enough there for a pair of mittens still in 1 skein, and that is done in okay, that's warm, in Deborah Yarn Indulgences Suri Silk Fluffy Base. Let me see if I have the label in here, which will tell us exactly what it is. As always, I'm not ever nearly as prepared as I think I'm going to be. Yeah, I don't have the label. But if you go on Yarn Indulgences website, or if you see them out and about, it's her fluffy yarn, which I'm pretty sure is a Suri base. And lots of little gray hairs in it. But this is great. I'm not sure I'm keeping it. I love the colors, but I don't know that they're my colors. Like, they're quite subdued. I actually think it might be nice for my mom, because she just likes something, she doesn't like something that hangs out, so inside her coat. And I thought that might be good for her. It's got some nice blues and greens and other colors in it that she might like. Anyways, I haven't decided yet. For now, it's going to go home with me. We'll figure it out later. Yeah, so those are the knitting things I finished. And I also finished, I think I showed this as singles last time, but I applied this. This is from Marissa at Dye Pretty. Excuse me, Pretty Little Yarns. And I had 2 braids. This is her clownfish colorway. And it is 65 merino, 35% silk. I love this. I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably DK-ish. I think I'm going to make a little tank top out of it, like a vest more, like not a thin strap, like a wide strapped, but something you'd wear on your own, on its own. But I just love those colors. It's gorgeous. I really enjoy seeing how when you look at the braid of fiber and then you spin it and you look at the single, and when you ply it, how it changes. And how you can look at the braid and see how it speaks to you about how you might choose to spin it. So if it's a regular color transition, do you want to just split it and spin it end to end? Do you want to split it some other way? When you ply it, do you want the colors to match, or do you want it to marl? Like all those things that you think about before you start. And I mean, I'm a fairly new spinner, don't get me wrong. And I am just starting now to be able to look at the braid and think about how it might look. And some of the ones I've worked on, like the last one I did, you all saw, was Wavelength from Firefly Haven. And that one was very irregular and really just came out to a lovely blue with lots of texture, right? Because it was all different shades of blue and white and was beautiful. And I actually have 2 braids of a Firefly Haven in green that I'm probably is going to be my next spin. And it's the same. And I like that it's not really tonal. It is tonal because it's all tones of blues muted or brightened by white and various shades. And I think that's an interesting spin. The same way, I think a spin like this, which has all different colors in it, is also really interesting. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to knitting with that. And that's the goal, to knit with it. Because if you're spinning and you're not knitting with it, then you're just collecting handspun, which is, you know, a legitimate hobby, I guess. But I don't want to be a collector of handspun. That's not my goal for whatever reason. And then the other thing I finished, now he's a bit mutant, but it was a very relaxing afternoon to make him. But I'm just saying up front, he is a bit mutant. It's this little chickadee. He looks, I don't, like this way he's not too bad. You put him this way, he looks a bit like some kind of hawk or something. I don't know. His beak is a little hooked, maybe more than it should be. But he's just a little needle felted chickadee. I enjoy needle felting. I've done it for a long time, actually. I've probably, back in the early 2000s, I was doing like little corsages and brooches and pins and things for my grandmother and my great-grandmother. Oh, it must be longer ago than that, because I did them, I guess it would have been the 90s. Because I remember I did different ones for my great-grandmother to put on her cane. So it was like a wrist corsage kind of, but they were felted flowers that she could put on her cane to change. She loved flowers, and she hated her cane because, you know, she was 100 years old and didn't think she should need one. She was 100 years young. But she, so I made her these little things to put on her cane or her walker, whatever she was using at the time, just to brighten it up a bit. And I was doing felted flowers then. And I did a felted cactus a few years ago, which I actually showed on here, one of the early episodes. And I did some wet felting, took a couple classes in that. So I do enjoy felting, and I do have a felting fiber collection, if anyone was wondering. And so I decided I should start using it. So I did this little guy, and he's cute. And I just put a pin, like I felted a pin into his body with a little hook thing on it. I don't know where he's gonna live. Maybe he'll live in my car. My car might be a place for him to be. But he does look a bit manic or something. But you can tell he's a chickadee. So that's really all that matters, right? I know he's a chickadee. That's really all that matters. Yeah, so those are the things I finished since we last talked. Okay, 26 minutes in and we haven't talked about what I'm working on. So I am working on quite a few things, not all of which are new. Oh, and I see a project that over on the sofa, I see 2 projects that I forgot to bring over here, which I may have to go get here in a second. So let's go through what I have here now to start with. So this is no, I am not whining. This is the cable knit sweater that seems to be taking forever. And I know that part of the reason is I'm knitting it for someone else. Like, not that I'm knitting it to give to someone, I'm knitting it for someone who asked me to knit it for them. However, I now have 4 of the 5 pieces done. And so I have both sleeves done. Oh no, that's a front. This is a sleeve. It isn't hard. It isn't difficult. Oops, that's back. That's the second sleeve. This is the back. So it hasn't been blocked yet. It's still moss stitch by its nature. The way you knit it ends up going on the bias, so you have to block it square. But that's the back. And I have one front done. And I have one front, the last front started. And now I'm at the spot where, you know, this is the kind of pattern, it's a free pattern, where there's a chart, but this is all the information of the entire pattern. This is stitches and glossary and needles and all that thing. The actual pattern starts here and is this column. So that's all the information there is on knitting it, which is more than enough. Don't get me wrong. I could knit this pattern based on this small amount of information. However, we're spoiled now because many new designers give you almost a row by row guide to what to do. Whereas this one, you know, there's this 10 lines of how to do the front or the left front. And then for the right front, it says, work in a mirror image of the left, which means you have to sit down and think about how you're going to rearrange the stitches. And because I don't love this project, that's taking me a long time. I need to get my rear ending here and get it finished. Because, you know, here's the ribbing. That was the easy part. Now I have to get going with it. This is in one of my favorite bags though, and I did that on purpose. I put it in this bag. I put it in this bag so that I would be happy to grab it. And then I put my sweary stitch markers in it. But this is in a Van Dyke Designs bag by Carolyn Van Dyke. And interestingly, it has this light blue, the tabs are this light blue vinyl. And my Grocery Girls Knit Alaska tape measure matches it. So it's in that bag. It's very matchy. And it's the perfect size for a, I mean, this young woman, I'm knitting a size 10, I think, girls. You know, she's a preteen. Yeah. I think the last episode I said my goal was to have it done before I recorded again. That is still my goal. Obviously, I didn't achieve it, but I did get the front done since the last time. I just need to... This would be an excellent project for front porch knitting. I can watch television and do it, as long as it's not anything that requires too much of my brain. But it would be perfect for just sitting outside, having a cup of tea and enjoying the birds and the insects in my garden. However, it's not that time of year right now. So it could happen. I do want to get them done. I'm knitting them for my aunt's grandchildren, so my cousin's kids. And I just want to get them done because those little girls deserve to have their sweaters before they don't fit. That being the biggest issue. But anyway, I also pulled out an old project that I probably showed as a finished object. I did these felted slippers. And it is a free pattern from Rauma, I think, but it's in Norwegian. I used Google Translate to translate it, and Inga from Knitting Traditions has sort of written it out. So between those two things, that's how I knit them. I don't know if I can pull them apart. Yeah, when you knit them, they look like this, like a little pair of pants, and then you put them together. And we have hardwood stairs in our house, maple, and slippers like this just aren't good on those. And so I can't put that back together now. I got these soles to put on them. They're a company called Bodies. And I started with some quite heavy thread, stitching them on. It just takes time. Like, it's not hard, it just takes time. And then as I was doing it, I was thinking I might needle felt some color onto them. I don't know. But I've been working on those. And I ordered these online. I'm thinking I ordered them from Lion Brand at the time, but I know Little Red Mitten carries some versions of the Bodies soles, and I'm sure you can get them other places, but I just happened to find them there, and they had the sizes I needed. So I'm working on those. This is my current muscle burrow I'm working on. Look at those colors. So does it surprise you? This color is called Fireball. Like, doesn't it just look like all the colors of a campfire? And this is a Dye Pretty colorway, and my friend Marissa, and she owns prettylittleyarns.ca, so you can find her there. And this is a superwash nylon blend, and this is a colorway her son designed, imagined. She has a sample. It isn't this pattern, it's a different hat pattern in her booth, and I just love how bright and fun it is. So yeah, I'm in the round and round part of this one. I guess I might be getting close to the decrease section, but I'm not there yet. It's great, especially because when I'm here at my parents', I tend to be more social than I am at home. Well, because at home, I'm often home alone by myself during the day. Okay, I'll show you that project last. And this one is in my Hohi bag. This is the I think it's folded envelope in suede. And it is I did that thing where I didn't bring another skein of yarn with me, and so I can't keep working on it. This is my pressed flowers cardigan that it's not a steeked pattern, but I am steeking mine. So my sleeve steek is, where's my sleeve steek gone? It's right there. And the front steek is there. And so the whole body is done. I just need to sew the shoulders and then cut the steeks to do the sleeves and the button bands. So I wish I'd brought I have lots of the Noro, because this is Noro Silk Garden Light is the contrast color, but I didn't bring an extra skein of the Lichen and Lace, and it's Lichen and Lace Sport in Beetroot is the base color. I thought I had one, but I've gone through all the knitting bags I have with me and I didn't see it, so. But that's coming along nicely. I think I had just split for sleeves the last time, and I finished it actually the other night here at the cottage. I finished it one evening listening to an audiobook. So that is done. Now I'm gonna go grab the two projects. You and Mervyn chat amongst yourselves. I hope Mervyn didn't tell you too many stories. He lives here at the cottage all the time, and mostly the cottage is my siblings and I, or my nieces and nephews. My parents occasionally, it's only 20 minutes from their house, not even. And my parents come out here and have a cup of tea. I don't know if my dad is, oh yes, he did stay here at one point. They live in the St. John River Valley, which floods quite often, and one year when the flood was quite bad, they stayed here because it allowed them, this is higher ground, and even though the lake is right there, they're up quite a bit. The cottages on either side of them get water in them, but my parents does not. They sensibly built based on that. And interestingly, their house also does not get water on the main floor. They have gotten it in their basement, but not on the main floor. But they did stay out here then. Prior to that, I don't think my father had ever slept here. My mom has, like with girlfriends and stuff, had retreats and getaways and things here, but it's mostly my siblings and I who use it, and our children who are passing through. Our son and his in-laws, son and his wife and his in-laws, they were here last year for a few days. Like, it's a beautiful spot, and it's a log construction. So, but Mervyn never tells stories on any of us, or he's not supposed to. That's a rule. And if you believe Mervyn talks, welcome to my world. I have woken up some days and thought I needed to chat with him. But, so the other two projects I have with me, and these really are the only things I'm working on right now. Like, I pretty much brought them all. I drove this time, so I had room for everything. A pair of work style socks for my son. This is a 3x1 rib. The cuff is 1x1 It's all Paton's Kroy, 64 stitches. And he has a size 12 or 13 foot, but it's quite narrow. So I'm working on those. I just started the second one since I've been here. And actually I knit most of this leg yesterday afternoon. I was at my parents' and we were cleaning my mum. I use we like the royal we. When I get there in the morning, I always say to my mom, what are we going to do today? And she always has a project, whether it's baking or going to the grocery store or sorting through something. Anyways, yesterday it was to clean the upper cabinets on one side of the kitchen. We'd done all the ones they use every day, like where all the everyday dishes and stuff are most recently, but we had started with the uppers where she keeps a set of china, and this is the things I don't use as often. And so someone came in the middle of that. Well, I can't really be up on a stepladder cleaning cupboards when there's one of their friends is there. So I sat at the table, and while they chatted, I knit, and that's when I did most of the sock. That was another tangent. Sorry, folks. Anyways, this is in my topsail canvas, my friend Sadie, in red. And I don't know what this pouch is called. I just know that I love it, and I have a couple of them. And I will see her this weekend, and we'll probably get more. But it's perfect. It holds all 3 of my balls of yarn and my project, and is perfect for zipping because I can zip it shut and it stays where it belongs. I should learn what they're all called. I'll link it below. And the other thing I'm working on, and it's almost done, is this little love note for my goddaughter. The one sleeve is finished. The other one is half done. And interestingly, I brought 2 skeins of this with me. One's bald, one not, but not the one for my, pressed flowers. Like, what was I thinking? Anyway, this is vintage, Barocco Vintage DK. I don't know what the color number is. And I did the provisional cast on for the collar. And I'm knitting it to pattern, and I'm using the Tin Can Knits app, which if you have not used the Tin Can Knits app yet, I highly recommend. It's great because I don't have to remember which size I chose. It's all in there. I just keep hitting the arrow and it takes me to the next step, and it only has the numbers for the size I'm working on at the time, which is great. And I'm just, I've done a couple of these in the past for kids. I don't do these with mohair. Like, I think mohair in children is, well, first of all, it's a cruel thing to do to a mother. I think someone who has small children needs things to be easier to look after than mohair is, even though I love my fingering and mohair versions. So this is a DK machine washable. Like, I personally wouldn't throw it in the dryer, but I think if you did, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's a wool and acrylic and nylon, I think, blend. But I love this color, and I love how heathered it is. And I felt like this was kind of, purple is nice and springy, and my goal is for it to be part of her Easter basket. She's 3. She doesn't want too many practical things. She's hilarious because I gave her a new hairbrush at Christmas, and along with a bunch of other things, you know, child-related things, but the hairbrush was the favorite thing. And for her birthday, she got Peppa the Pig Lego, and she carries the little Peppa the Pig Lego person around with her like it's her most prized possession. So I never know what, when I give her something, I never know what the most important thing in the package is to her. But I thought this was a cute little sweater for spring. Perfect for, they camp a lot, so perfect for in the evening when they're camping, things like that. It'll be good. So the last thing I'm working on is this bag of tricks. And this is a 2 Sticks and You bag. She has passed away and no longer, and in it are my 2.25 flexi flips and a whole bunch of different colors of Paton's Kroy yarn, some little tags, because I am teaching at the Fiddlehead Fibre Festival next weekend on April the 12th. And the class I'm teaching is Casting On is the Foundation of Your Knitting, I think is what it's called. And you can read the whole little blurb thing on the Fiddlehead Fibre Festival website. If you're going to be in Florenceville, Bristol, or in the area next weekend and would like to learn a little bit more about different cast-ons, how to do them, and which ones to choose for different projects, I would love to see you face-to-face. It would be fun. My favorite cast-on book is this one, Cast On, Bind Off by Leslie Ann Bester, and it has been available on Amazon. I don't know if it still is, but I will, if it is, I'll link it below. I really like this book. It's well written, lots of good information. But this is, so after we're done, I'm done recording, my next project is to finish my handout for the class. So I have been making little samples using the different cast-ons and just basically doing a cuff so you can, and I'm trying to do them all exactly the same so you can see which ones are stretchier, and the folks in my class will learn how to, you know, choose which cast-on they like. And some of it's just preference, visual preference, or what your hands do. We're actually talking with a group of friends who, like we said, it used to be they were like, you only knew one cast-on. There were more in the world, but you didn't know them because you learned the cast-on whoever taught you to knit used. And I, for years and years and years, only ever used a knitted cast-on. That was it. And then then someone showed me the backwards loop one that you do off your thumb, and then long tail and alternating long tail and German twisted, and then all of a sudden I realized there were some I liked. I liked the way they looked. I liked the way they stood up when you wore the item or washed it, or some of them I like for different purposes. And now I use a variety, like when it says lots of patterns start, use a long tail cast on or your preferred method. I usually have a preferred method for different projects. So we're going to talk about that in my class. It's just a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, and we're going to, I'm going to have lots of yarn there for people to practice and to, if they want to try different ones, get the hang of them. And one of the goals is to make some videos, so when they go home, they'll be able to see making them. And cast-ons, like all kinds of other knitting things I talk about, there is no wrong way or right way. Your knitting is your knitting, you do you. However, if you don't love the way the current cast-on you're using works in certain situations, there are lots of other options, and just to explore them. And I think that even if you learn something and then you don't use it because you don't love it, that's okay. Now you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that's the class I'm teaching this year at Fiddlehead Fibre Festival. And lots of other people. I think Nancy Wheeler is doing one on Afterthought Heels. Lynn from Where the Wildflowers Grow, she's doing several weaving, and there's a spinning class. There's a couple of weaving ones. There's Manon Drolet is doing, I think this year she's doing steeking. And maybe, I'm not sure. Steeking, I'm pretty sure about. She did do a colorwork one recently, but I don't know if she's doing it at Fiddlehead. Lynn is also doing one on different apps and using the technology around crafting. There's a keynote speaker. Oh, her last name is Yerxa. What's her first name? From Key Knits. Let me look it up because, you know, I could be telling you, stringing you on here. Let's find her. Here she is. The famous fiber guest for 2025 is Rhonda Yerxa of Key Knits. And key to accessible knitting patterns and unique artisanal clothing is her little blurb. I will link the Fiddlehead class or website down below so you can go check out the classes. There's one on beads and knitting. There is one on, there's some weaving. Lynn Piercy's doing rigid heddle weaving. There's a drop spindle spinning. There's, what else is there? Lots of things. Oh yeah, here's Manon's, it's steeking. Yeah. So, all kinds of things you could learn. And great teachers, great classes, reasonably priced, very accessible location, right off the highway. If you're in New Brunswick and you can get to Florenceville, Bristol this weekend, lots of great vendors, lots to learn, all kinds of fun things. It will be well worth your trip to go there. So, and you'll see me. What have I, so if you only want the knitting portion, thank you. The next section is my ridiculous, actually it's not that bad because some of them were gifts I received and some of them were prizes that I won. But there's a few things here because, you know, I went to the gathering in Sussex. And I was also here for my mom's birthday, which was great in February. But getting together with knitting friends it's as good as the spa. Like, honestly, it is just such a spirit-lifting, idea-gathering, being with your people. It's all pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. So if you have a chance to get together with people, please make sure you do. For those of you in Southern Ontario, the Little Red Mittens Flock Together is happening on the last weekend in April. So the weekend of the 25th, 26th, 27th. And since we have a we have a federal election in Canada happening on the 28th, I think going away with your knitting friends on the 25th, 26th, and 27th is probably a really good way to get your head straight and help you work through all that, if that's a thing for you. And it's in St. Thomas, and the information can be found on Little Red Mittens website. And there will be lots going on. And that also is the weekend of LYS Day. So, local yarn shop day, we don't want to miss that. I'm pretty sure the Little Red Mitten will also have some sales and specials and other things going on that weekend. So check it out. Get together with your knitting friends. It's worth it, believe me. So the next thing we're going to talk about is some of the things I purchased and some of the things I received as gifts. So my friend Robin, her and I haven't seen her, just the way it worked out. She's had a crazy fall and lead up to the year. Like she didn't make it to PEI with us because it was her son's wedding weekend, and she had a grandchild born just before that, and she's just who had a few health problems, and just she had a busy year. So I hadn't seen her since Christmas, and so I sent her Christmas gift with our friend Heidi, but I got my Christmas gift from her. So it was this little bundle. So this beautiful Musante 2 skeins, and these are 75% wool, 30% viscose, 20% polyamide, 8% angora, and 5% cashmere, and it is so soft. It is this gorgeous like petrol teal color and this beautiful deep purple. I'm not sure what this is going to be, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go around my neck because it's very, very soft. Beautiful. And some little sheep stitch stoppers. And I love these. This is, these are from Maritime Stationery in Fredericton. I have another one of these, and they're great. It's like a notepad. It has coasters, some bookmarks and tags. And they're just beautiful. I have another one at home that I use all the time. So I love these. And they are so gorgeous. And you can replace the notepad. Such a beautiful gift. Thank you, Robin. I know I thanked you when you gave it to me, but it is beautiful and I love it. And then I won a door prize at the wool gathering, and it had these beautiful stitch stoppers, needle stoppers, from our friend Rochelle. Actually, I don't think these were in the prize. I think Rochelle gave these to me. I don't know. Thank you, Rochelle. I have no idea how I got them. I think she just gave them to me. I can't remember. No, I don't think so, because she gave me a really cute little, I think this was in the prize, and she gave me a cute little, can't remember what project bag it's on. A little red coffee mug, progress keeper, and I put it on the zipper of one of my project bags, but I don't know which one. I can't remember. And I got this skein of Estelle twin socks, so I'll be able to knit one, and then there'll be a color change to know that's where to start the second sock. So I got that. This is it says 2 gradients in 1 ball, knit to the black section, and then start again. And it is 75/25 merino nylon. And I also got this neck lamp for reading in the dark or knitting in the dark. You know where I use these a lot? I actually take it when I go on the plane, because I find that overhead light on the plane isn't, like, it doesn't hit my knitting in the right place. So I usually take a neck lamp, which are perfect. So I got that. And I may have gotten wrong what was in that bundle, but it was lovely. I'm pretty sure there was something else in that bundle, but I can't remember what. Anyway, not important. And I purchased this little cutie from Topsail Canvas, and this is the baby oarlock. I have with me 1, 2, 3, 4 topsail canvas, either project bags or tote bags on this trip. I love my topsail, and my big orange one that you've all seen before. I just washed it. I washed it in the washing machine and then stood it upside down over the furnace vent to dry it. Good as new. Looks beautiful. So I got that. I also got from Robin's shop, Close Knit Friends. I got 2 skeins of Illuminati Sabri, which is 85% cotton, 15% baby yak. Let's see if I can get there. I got this to do some kind of a summer top. And I got this turtle pearl, one of their turtle toes, striped turtle toe sets. And this one is trench coat. So it's sort of the Burberry colors. And I'm going to knit some socks with that. And I got from Deborah at Yarn Indulgence, I got the mohair for my Water Song scarf. And I got these 2 skeins. I got 2 skeins of this silken linen. And this color is River Crossing. And a bunch of us are going to Knit City, Montreal, and we're all knitting the same sweater. Violetta by, I can't remember. I can see her. I'll put it underneath. And you will notice mine is still in balls. Knit City, Montreal is the middle of May. This is the middle of April. I need to get ink here. It isn't work. So I told myself I had to finish that cable knit sweater before I could start this. And that's bad because it isn't working. The theory was it would work to get me going on it so I would finish it. It didn't work. So that's a fail. I also got, not at the wool gathering, but we went to Legacy Lane Fibre, and they were offering lots of great goodies and door prizes and things for the folks who were at the gathering, because it's a yarn shop in Sussex. And beautiful yarn, a lot of alpaca that they have milled themselves, but also they carry other things. And they had, I may be crazy, but I bought black Santa's Garn Tin Lena because I think I need a black summer sweater. I don't know how, like, I'm gonna have to be outdoors in bright daylight to knit this, but I am excited to knit it. And I don't know exactly what pattern I'm gonna use. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I'm just not sure what I want to do with it. I have yarn from Lamb and Kid that I got to do another version of the sweater I did last year, which the name escapes me. Saltier, in blue. So I thought about doing a Saltier, but do I need 3 Saltiers? So I'm going to look for another pattern. If you have any ideas, put them down below, but bearing in mind, it can't be too complicated because it's black and I am old. But I'm glad I got that. I also, my friend Faith went with me to the gathering, and she's, she's been knitting probably almost as long as I have, but she's a different kind of knitter than I am. She for sure knits, for the relaxation and the keeping her busy, and she does a lot of charity knitting and other things like that. And she wasn't sure that she would fit in with. We had a great time. I'm so glad she was able to come. And if you're watching, hi, don't forget, love hanging out with you all the time. Not necessarily just yarny things, but yeah, she picked up some yarn at Legacy Lane as well. And I had lunch with her this week, and she said, oh, and I ran into Nancy, and and I'm like, oh yeah, she's got it. She has the bug. She went to Prince Edward Island and went to some yarn shops, and yeah, all the things. So also I stopped at this tag is wrong. This is a fingering, but Loopy Wool in Salisbury, and picked up this green, dark green skein of superwash. I think this is going to be Musselburgh for our son. My son, dark green is his color, and he likes that sort of watch cap snug to your head. So I think that's what that's going to be. I just popped in there. Actually, I popped in there when I was home in January, but I forgot to mention that yarn. And then I ordered the spring seasons of socks from Les Garçon, which is their collaboration with Michelle at Woolens Nosh, and I got that. And when I ordered it, I also ordered some of their marled fingering that was, I think, a one-of-a-kind colorway or something. It was in their sales section, and it is I don't know what the composition is. Oh, here it is. 50% Falklands and 50% BFL, blue face luster. So it's very soft, and that may end up being a hat as well. I'm not sure what that will be, but I do like it. And I saw this, someone cranked the tube of this. Who was it? Oh, Gail from Yarn Room Shenanigans, Gail and Laura. Gail had this on her Instagram. It is gorgeous. I can hardly wait to knit it. I love knitting this base. It is a Targhee and uh, 90 Targhee, 10% nylon superwash base. But look at the colors in it. Very spring. I can hardly wait. I'm very sad. It is hard to get Michelle's yarn here in Canada, just with shipping and duty and all the other things. So the fact that she's doing a collaboration with Les Garçon makes it easier, because then at least I'm ordering from Canada and I can add a few other things, and I'm paying in Canadian dollars, so I know ahead of time what it's actually going to cost. And yeah, I love it. I think that's everything. All the things I bought. Yeah. So normally in here we chat about a little bit of life stuff, and there's not a whole lot going on. I did drive to New Brunswick this time. Normally, like through the winter, I often fly, but I couldn't get a decent, well, I haven't been able to get a decent price on a flight for a long time. So in the winter, I don't have any choice, but I managed to avoid bad weather driving down, and I left myself enough time when I go back that if I have to stop for a day or go a day later, I can, which is good. I am gonna head straight from Fiddlehead Fibre to go home, because it's on my way. It puts me about an hour and a half towards my goal, so I don't want to drive it twice in 2 days, so that'll be good. And yeah, I'm getting helping my parents get some stuff done. You know, hung a curtain rod with my dad, and cleaning cupboards for my mom. Did a lot of baking already. Have a few other things lined up to do. Have to get my presentation finished for next weekend. You know, I have 6 days. I have lots of time. The trick will be getting the handouts printed. I have to do that too. But yeah, there's a Staples, so I can probably just get it done at Staples. If I can get one printed somewhere, I can then take the rest to Staples to finish printing. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing all my yarny friends next weekend. This week is just regular helping my parents stuff. I have to clean the cottage, before I leave, so that whoever comes next has clean bedding and all those things. That's not a big deal. Pretty easy to do. But I'm looking forward to it. And then I get home and it's Easter weekend. We have 3 birthdays Easter weekend. Our grandson the 17th, our oldest daughter the 19th, and one of our daughter-in-laws the 21st. So we have a busy weekend with Easter and birthdays that weekend, just the way everything comes together. And then the next weekend is Flock Together with the Little Red Mitten, and I'm excited to be going there. I am not staying over because I didn't have anybody to share a room with, and it's 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes from my house, which isn't terrible, and the weather shouldn't be bad then. So even if I leave at, late, I can still be back in the morning at a decent time. And it will be cheaper than staying in a hotel. It means I eat breakfast at home too, which is always a better idea, I think. But I'm looking forward to seeing some people there, meeting some new friends, making new friends, hanging out, doing my thing. If you're there, say hi for sure. And then the next thing after that is Knit City, Montreal. I am planning to come to you probably after Flock Together, which is a little later this month. And so we can talk about what fun that was. So that is the goal right now. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for putting up with my special version of crazy. And I look forward to seeing you again. And as always, if I have not given you enough information in the notes below, send me a message and we'll go from there. Oh, the other thing, I still have not heard from the prize winner from 2 episodes ago. And I can't redraw here at the cottage, which is what I had initially said I was going to do if I hadn't heard, because I don't have Wi-Fi here. And so rather than muck around with that and adding it later, I am going to not redraw until the next episode. So if you commented on my last episode or you saw the episode where I noted who the winner was and you know who they are, please let them know that they need to email me at thefrontporchknitter@gmail.com. Info will be below. And let me know how I can get their prize to them, because it was a pretty amazing, I have it here. I did bring it with me. It's a pretty amazing prize. It's one of these great top sale canvas bags filled with yarn and other goodies that from the PEI Fibre Festival when I was there in the fall. So things that every knitter would want to have. Otherwise, we're going to either have to keep this prize for later for something else or draw again. I'll decide when the time comes. But I really do want to send it off to somebody. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. And hopefully we'll chat again soon. Bye.